Hi guys, George here again, and this time I would like to present to you is a solo playtesting of a DYO scenario called Attack on Biazza Ridge. It's a remake of scenario E as in Edward or Echo, and a revised version of the Nemeski-Biscari Highway. So essentially what it is, it's taking place in July 9th, 1943 in Italy. Um, the 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment is scattered all over southern Sicily, but their main objective is to delay uh, any German reinforcements from reaching the Allied beachhead in Sicily to ensure a successful invasion of Sicily by the Allies. So we're using the basic squad leader rules, boards 2 and 4. It's a 9 turn scenario with reinforcements coming in and on turn 4 for the Germans and turn 6 for the Allies. We have the U.S. elite squads here, and I believe these are elements of the Hermann Göring division. I should be identifying them here in the OB actually. There's a couple of special rules. The US AT guns function as captured weapons from Rule 90 um, in um, in COI, and I think that I'm probably going to delete that rule because essentially what that states, if I remember correctly, is that the breakdown number is reduced by 2 and they're fired at half firepower. Which doesn't make sense for the U.S. elite troops to operate a weapon like that, even if it was captured. Um, Special rule number 2 is that the U.S. airborne, I call them airborne, but they're actually elite troops. Well, they're both probably um, can can entrench without forfeiting their ability to fire, so they can entrench without having to go um, temporarily immobilized. And the German units occupying level 3 hexes on Hill 621 benefit from fanaticism. That's something too um, is something that I'm looking to probably change. Um, the other thing is the other important item is the victory conditions, which is capturing the hills. Now, in fact, what the Americans try to do by capturing the hill and rushing the in capturing the 2 German AT guns was to prevent reinforcements from going to the Axis reinforcements from going uh, to the Allied beachhead. So it looks like I'm going to have to revisit the victory conditions again as well. The other thing that, in hindsight, I should have reconsidered was here there are 2 German armored fighting vehicles to 1 American. Um, Having played squad leader for quite some time now, I can tell you with 2 to 1 odds with 2 AFVs that are quite equal in firepower. And what can happen is that simply if the dice gods favor you, you simply have no chance with 2 to 1 odds. I could be wrong. So let's look at the map and look at the SSF. Let's make that a little bit smaller. Oops, zoom out. So here's your famous Hill 2, your famous Hill 4. These units set up as follows. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, and a little bit bigger. So the first setup hex is 4F3. No, it's not that. It's actually here, 4H3. So these guys set up here. I call him Colonel Gavin with 3 squads, a heavy machine gun, and a bazooka. So that's 6 portage points. But we have 3 squads. So one squad has two movement factors erased from it, from its capacity to move. Gavin allocates two more. Um, I'm not sure if that reduces its capacity to move to two hexes, or if it can go four. Then the next hex is 4G4, right there, right behind him. Is Mr. Jones. 4F3, Lewis. And then I have Bolton in 4E4 with two crews there. These are the so-called captured or about to be captured AT guns. So the one's in 4K2 right here, and the other one is in 4Q2. And the whole point is for the Americans to rush these AT guns, capture them, and also gain a height advantage because the Germans are going to enter here on their turn one. Let's look at the scenario card again. It takes place in July, so the grain or the wheat fields are in effect. Let's remove the move. So this is Allied rally phase, right? So turn one, Allies, there we go. And prep fire, there ain't no prep fire. Movement, this is a half, one, one and a half. I'm assuming they can go four movement points. So 1.5, 2, 3.5. These fellows can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lewis can go 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. And Bolton will go, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Defensive fire, there isn't any. Advancing fire, there isn't any. Route, none. Remove all moves. Advance phase would bring Gavin up to here. We want to bring, let's see how we're going to do this. Yeah. Let's bring one machine gun here, one squad up there. Let's put Gavin in the woods as well with the two squads. He just captured that. Bolton will advance into the woods. Actually, if you take a look at this hex here and do a LOS check, oops, there. This is well, is it a decent position? He has LOS to this hex, then he breaks up in LOS. So it's not really an ideal position. There's only two hexes being covered from where he is. If he moves up one hex, well, let's see. Let's read where he is at. Yep, that's the best he can do, really. If he moves to the hex adjacent, he'll be in open ground. Will he be able to cover more hexes? The answer is yes. So basically, he's better off in open ground. And maybe moving into the woods here. And the other plan is for Bolton to to move as follows. In the next turn, he'll move here, here, here. That's 6 movement factors, and then advance into that hex to capture the um, AT gun. Now delete. I think everybody advanced, so let's remove that. I should have started a log right off the bat. Always forget. There you go. And now close combat. There isn't any. Axis turn 2. So now it's the Axis turn to come in on the board, and they come in on GG5 or GG4. So let's move those stacks up there. They should be going in sequential movement in as groups, the way they were depicted on the scenario card. So I'm going to put pillar first, Hans coming in second, Mets. Now this is classic squad leader, so you don't have to pre-designate their entry hex. And I'm going to say the heck with sequential movement. I'm just going to move them normally. Alright, so they should have 6 movement factors. They're barely carrying any support weapons that would hinder their movement. So they're going in a half, 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 4.5, 5, and 6. To expedite matters, I'm just going to put everybody like this. And what happens with these folks are, let's see what we're going to do with that. I'm going to try and gain the height advantage. That's what I'm going to do. So let's do their covered arc, not that it matters. And that's a half, 1, 2. I'm going to not bother with covered arc right now because there's nobody that can fire at them. 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. So they're going to go to the hex right next to them. And let's worry about covered arc now. He'll change facing to there. And if he can go there, the other half track plausibly can move up to that hill as well. And there. So now, at least with their AA machine gun, they can cover most of the hexes up here. So let's do an LOS check. There you go. And from here, there's one blind hex up there. Okay. Prep fire, movement, defensive fire, there's none. So turn 1 is basically just positioning yourself. Advancing fire, none. Route, none. And advance phase, armored fighting vehicles cannot advance. Pillar can advance to here. Hands can advance. Well, yeah, let's advance him to there. And let's advance this fellow to there. Alright. And that Takes it to turn 2 for the allies. We remove a move. Um, Rallies, there's none. And um, this hex here, to move into it, higher elevation, would be 4 in itself. I'm not sure if the heavy machine gun can do that. So we're going to have some engineers move up the hill. Take the bazooka with them. So that's 2. That's 2, 3. That's the best I can do. These fellows here can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jones can move 4 right up the hill. He can also take 1 light machine gun and try to move up the hill. I think he'll do that. He can stay put where he is. Bolton is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Lewis, he's not going to stay out in the open. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not too sure he can go 5, 6 because he's carrying an MMG. So he advanced into there. Let's see what happens there. Yep. Yep. Okay. Defensive fire. There isn't any. I don't believe. Prep fire, movement, defensive fire. There isn't. So basically, out of the 9 turns, so far there hasn't been an engagement, and excuse me, there hasn't been a engagement. It's been more engagement of movement, and I'm wondering whether the initial setup should be different. Have the units on board from the get-go, and let's see who takes the hill. That would probably make it into a faster scenario, and it doesn't give too much latitude to the players. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm going to try to keep this video 15 to 20 minutes, and then maybe have a second part, or what I'm going to do is actually play test it with a live player and see where that takes me as well. Alright, defensive fire's over. Advancing fire, none. Route, none. Allied advance phase, let's remove all the moves. He can advance into there. Jones is going to try and be the healer. These guys can advance into the woods. He will advance into here. He will advance into the woods, and then try and send more units up the hill. And Gavin is going to advance as well. The Bolton is going to try and stick around there, actually. Actually, yeah, it's fine. Now I got two AT guns fully crewed. Bolton can probably rally one of the 2 people, depending how the German player will move. Let's remove all moves. Close combat. None. Axis rally phase. Let's turn that to flip. Great stuff. Now, as you can imagine, putting those half trucks up on the hill will be a little bit problematic, but not impossible. The fellow that can get them is definitely Gavin. The um, the AT guns, of course, Lewis as well, because MMGs can fire in their normal range on half tracks and hit them instantly, but they need snakes or threes depending on their facing. Um, so at this point, what I plan to do with the half tracks is uh, keep them on the reverse slope for defensive fire purposes, and at the same token, I'm going to dismount um, the MMGs. Then I'm going to advance them only if Pillar, Hans, and Metz make some headway in advancing up the hill. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go right to movement phase. So this half track is going to move 5 into there, 6, 7, and 9, 10. There you go. And this half track is going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now Pillar can either try and advance up the hill and confront the advancing allies, or take a reverse slope defense. Let's see how far I can move this fellow. There you go. So in terms of movement, Pillar can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and take over that building there. Which I'm afraid is what I'm going to do. And he's a bit of a powerhouse, so it'll be 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6. Whoop. He's on a half hex right there. Let's take that back, reverse, and put him in there. Okay, great. Now Hans is probably going to take over this building right here. It's a great defensive position. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Metz is on the road. He's going to try and go this way, and up the hill. He's going to actually try and have a front line of defense. Let's see what happens. Let's put that out of the way. That's a half. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6. Again, there is no defensive fire. There's no advancing fire. There's no route. Remove all the moves. And advance phase. He will advance here. They will not dare advance to those other hexes. Okay. Okie dokie. Uh, that's advanced phase, close combat, none. And how did that become Axis turn 3? I have no idea. Let's reset that to Axis turn 2. Okay. So this is close combat and allied. No, no. This should be allied turn 3. Okay. There is no rally. There's no prep fire. None that I can see. Alright, so let's go into prep fire. Alright, movement. Okay, we're gonna do a bit of juggling here. 1, 2, 3. This is 4, 1, 2. Uh, he'll probably advance in there. This fellow's gonna go 1, actually 2, 3, and these guys are gonna go 2. I'm debating whether to send up more troops, and I'm going to say, why not? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that helps. Again, I'm not sure if I should move Bolton back. So if he can route back if need be, but I'll keep him there for now. That's it for movement. Defensive fire, again, none. Advancing fire, none. Route, remove all moves. And advance phase, well, the allies have managed to capture this, 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 and this, and that, and that, and he moves up in support of his troops. He'll stay where he is, he'll stay where he is, and he'll stay where he is. Alright, then. Close combat, there isn't any. Remove all moves. And this should be Axis turn 3 actually. And I gotta figure out what's going on with this turn marker. Okay, save it. Good. And as you can see, in turn 4, the Axis will have reinforcements. I'll be in a bit of a pickle. Oh, rally phase, there isn't any. Prep fire phase, yeah, he'll prep fire. So here we have 8 even. So here, let's do a prep fire here. 8 even on him. Let's roll. 5 on the 8. Now let's see the SLAFT. 5 on the 8 is a 2 morale check. Yep. So he needs 5 or less. He breaks. He's broken. He can be route, but he's not the M. So he prep fired. Then I have a 4 even here. On him. 6 on the 4 is a normal morale check, so he needs 7 or less. 6, he makes it. Son of a gun. Now, Pillar, he has clear LOS to the squad up there, 5 hexes away. So this is devastating firepower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 12, 14, 16, not using 1 light machine gun. So we're going to do that at 16 even. Where's that light machine gun? Prep against this squad here. Let's roll. Whoa. I think that's a KIA. 4 on the 16 table. Yep, KIA. He's going to the graveyard. And we're going to fire Pillar again with the light machine gun at 2 minus 2. He's less than 8 hexes away. So let's do that. 2 minus 2. 5 on the 2 is a normal morale check. He needs to roll 7 or less. Let's do it. 12. He breaks. Okay. Now there's 2 squads left. He has LOS to this crest hex here. Yep. And how much was the range? 6. Oh, great. 6. So again, we got a he prep fired in its entirety. Again, it'll be 16. That's 16. Not even this time. We'll 16 down 1. $16 down 1 on the most evident hex right up here. Alright, 16 down 1. 6 on the 16 table is a 2 morale check. He needs 5 or less. He breaks as well. So we have there 3 broken squads, 1 KIA with the first prep fire phase from the Germans. Not doing too great. However, there's 1 squad that's still up and at him. And the reason why I didn't fire the LMG at him is because I'm pretty sure very few people have LOS to him. He doesn't, and he doesn't. So the only guy that can fire at him is the half-track at 8 up nothing, providing he goes crew exposed. So let's go crew exposed. There he is. There you go. However, he won't get the +2 modifier because if this guy survives, he's adjacent and a higher hex. So let's see what 8 up nothing brings us. 8 on the 8 is a normal morale check, so that's a 7 or less. He breaks. That's unfortunate, because if he didn't break, he could have been firing back at him. That was a very devastating turn for the Americans, and I'm definitely going to have to rethink this scenario and perhaps the victory conditions to begin with and make it a little bit more balanced. Perhaps the victory condition will be that the Germans will have to enter on this road here and exit a certain number of units. I would say probably from uh, this this hex or this hex, so we'll have to cut it through open ground, um, and perhaps give him a couple of trucks and convoy, make it like scenario 15. Um, I'm not sure. There's plenty to think about. As it stands now, I think that this scenario definitely needs balance. Um, I heard that some people did play it and enjoyed it. Any feedback is welcome. Folks, like and subscribe. Until next time, take care.